Hey everyone, it's Kyler. Today I want to record a video about my Princeton interview. My interview lasted like 30 to 40 minutes. I felt like it went well. The lady that interviewed me, she seemed like a really genuine person. You really didn't feel like she was even evaluating me. I don't know if that's the style of all the Princeton interviews or if this is just how mine was. You know, she was asking me things like, what do I really want to do? And then she would follow that up with, it doesn't really matter if you have everything together, stuff like that. But anyways, my interviewer, she lives in New York. I live in Illinois, so it was over Skype. It was the first time I ever used Skype, so I had to create an account, stuff like that. My interviewer, she was a literature major, and she's a journalist. She writes up articles about like the billion real estate places in New York, like the apartments and condos and stuff, which is really unique. I got to ask her, like, does she get to hang around with the billionaires or see the really wealthy people? And she was like, no. And that's part of the things that made her seem genuine. Is like, she was describing how whenever they do show up, it's really weird. I was asking her about her background, and she seemed like she came from just a normal family. The bad part about my interview was that whenever she'd ask me, is there anything you want to know more about Princeton? I was like, I don't really know what to say, because I know Princeton's an Ivy League school and it sounds kind of bad that I didn't prepare that much to say like specifics. I mean, of course I know what I'm interested in majoring in, and the general ideas, but there's nothing like specific, and unfortunately I wasn't able to visit or anything like that. So I just kind of said no, and then it was awkward, and then we waited, and then it went on. But fortunately, I think the style of the interview, more of just get to know you and that sort of thing, than is this the right candidate for Princeton? Something that I wish that I would have brought up, which for anyone that might have a Princeton interview in the future, is Tim Ferriss's book, 4 Hour Work Week. 4 Hour Work Week is, it's about working 4 hours a week, making 40 grand a month, that sort of thing, building a business. And he discusses in his book how he was a Princeton alumni, but he was like, he got in with really low test scores and stuff, but he felt like he got in a lot through character, which, was just what built his book and his brand and everything like that. I feel like that would have been important for my situation, just trying to scream character more than just test scores and pure academics, being really smart. Some of the questions that I was asked, like, what do I do in school? I talked about doing track all 4 years and how that's one of my favorite sports. And she was just like, oh yeah, do you want to do that in college? And then I was like, no, I don't think I'm that good. I'm not. Princeton's pretty good. I also talked about playing running back for high school. They were kind of just short conversations. Felt kind of forced because you're trying to have a conversation, but you don't really know each other. And I talked about being NHS vice president, student government president, and just setting up our service projects, getting everyone organized, doing their roles through NHS and student government. I also talked about my business, which I thought that she thought that was really interesting. I was like, so do you know what Alibaba is? And she was like, yes. So I don't know what all she does know, but she just said yes. So I just explained that I order from wholesalers and then resell the products online and in person. I also explained, how I've built relationships with people at the post office, and, they all know me. I actually live right down the street from the post office, so it's not too out of my way. So, while I do feel like I had a good interview and she found me interesting, I found her interesting. There was some barriers. I feel like partially the barriers were because, I'm more interested in business and economics, and she's interested in literature and journalism. And to tell you the truth, I don't really know that much about like all the technical aspects of writing and stuff like that. But fortunately, I didn't have to really talk about that. But at the same time, we weren't able to bounce back off each other like, oh, your business did this. What was your experience with customer service? I had that same thing. Or it wasn't like, I read this really good book. Did you ever read that? What do you think about that character or the plot line? We weren't able to bounce things off each other with our interests. It's more of me describing mine, her describing hers. Something about if you're having the interview, if it's like mine, where it doesn't really feel like an interview, you know, she was telling me more of half the time about herself, I was telling half the time about myself. Maybe it's systematically like that to just make you feel more comfortable. But I really felt like besides just being evaluated, I was able to learn something and have a good time just by getting to know her in this 30 to 40 minute period on Skype. And it was also cool because I've had interviews with UPenn, and you know, that was just on the phone because, you know, no one lives in Illinois, central Illinois that is. Because of that, you know, it's just more friendly because you can read facial expressions and that sort of thing. Because she seemed like kind of a timid person herself, so I felt like that kind of made me a little bit more confident, which is how it works. Well, I guess I can mention the contacting process. Princeton sent me stuff in the mail and emailed me a bunch before, so they emailed me and they were like, yeah, we're gonna schedule you the interview, or she'll be in contact with you within a few days. And 5 minutes later, Isabel emailed me. I was like, oh, great, yeah. My opinion, whenever you're scheduling things, give them a few times to pick from so it's not back and forth chatting. And then always use Miss instead of Mrs. If it's a girl, a woman, Mr. of course. And then always use the last name unless they finish off their email with their first name, which mine did, so I by her first name. Well, whenever you're scheduling things, just reconfirm as the day approaches and the day of, say, hey, are you excited for tonight, or I'm ready for the interview. Just, you know, reconfirm it so no one forgets, you know, they might lead busy lives and that sort of thing. But anyways, I think that about covers it with everything that I have to mention. Hope you enjoyed my video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm Kyler. I'll see you guys next time.